All right, good morning, everybody. Court will begin with the April 5th, 2022 docket, and we're on YouTube. And I have here P0062-22-4, Alicia Marie Mejia versus Eric Alvarado.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alessandra de la Tejera for Ms. Mejia.
Morning. And Ms. Mejia, would you please unmute?
Yes.
There you go. Good morning. What do we have here, Ms. de la Tejera?
So this is a protective order hearing. The respondent was served yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yes, that's right.
You didn't hear anything about him or anything like that?
I'm sorry?
No, you didn't get any response?
No, Ms.
Either.
Mejia. As far as
Okay.
I know, you didn't hear a response, right, Ms. Mejia?
No.
No phone call, no nothing, no anything? Okay. Then what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do an extension or what?
Yes.
It'll be
Just a brief reset, as brief as possible.
right, reset with extension.
Yes.
All right, we need the order, just submit it, okay, ma'am?
Will do. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That'll do it then. Your excuse. You have a great day.
Thank you as well.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're waiting on. Mr. Hernandez, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. I'm trying to put the video. Good morning.
Okay. Well, at least I recognize your voice.
Oh, yes. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
You are doing well.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. You're let's see, Miss Darlene Bell. Have you heard from her at all?
I have, yes. She said that she was going to be here.
Okay.
I believe she's gonna log on, right?
She's about to log on. Okay. Yeah, we've been waiting for her. You logged in pretty early, but we've been waiting for her.
Well, we're ready to go if you called the case.
Okay. All right, there she is. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Bell. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize to the court. Because we got their motion and we were working on the response.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem here. Court will continue here with the April 5th, 2022 docket, and I have F1144-22-4 in the interest of Antonella Hinojosa.
Yes. That is
Okay.
correct, Your Honor.
All right, and what do we have here, folks?
Well, Your Honor, okay, I think we have.
Agustin Hernandez for petitioner and counter respondent Veronica Gonzalez, Your Honor.
For petitioner, okay, and then Ms. Darlene Bell for respondent.
Yes, and my client is here as well, Your Honor.
All right,
And
what
my
once again?
client is here.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, my client is here, Veronica Gonzalez. We're here on a temporary restraining order hearing and temporary orders hearing as well, Your Honor. We learned very recently that the lawyer, Miss Darlene Bale, had consulted with my client about the subject matter of this case at an earlier time. So we object to her stating anything and advocating for her client. We submitted a motion to disqualify this morning after a call with her did not result in her filing a motion to withdraw.
Your Honor, if I may respond.
Yes.
Your Honor, the problem here is that we participated. We believe she's done a waiver, Your Honor. We filed on March the 31st, our response. We sent a letter to her counsel. We participated, did a Rule 11 agreement on visitation for the weekend. We agreed to the visitation because my client thought he was going to have a hearing this Tuesday, Your Honor. We didn't find out till yesterday morning when I received a call that they were now claiming a conflict of interest, Your Honor. And it's dilatory. It's not enough that there is a conflict. She has to be in it. She has to let us know right away. Had she let us know right away, my client could have gotten another attorney and be ready to proceed today, Your Honor. But they didn't do that. And so what the problem is, Your Honor, and what the law says is you have to let us know right away, and you cannot be dilatory and use it for a benefit for yourself to delay a judicial process, Your Honor. That's the problem. If we
Your Honor, we haven't delayed.
If I may, I allowed Mr. Hernandez, so I'd like to finish. If we could work out some type of visitation access for my client, because the present orders completely deny him any access, Your Honor. I'm going to advise my client.
We'd like to talk about the disqualification. We'd like to talk about the disqualification rather than the merits of the case. We found out, my client found out that Miss Darlene Bale, the person that she consulted with on this particular matter against Mr. Hinojosa on February the 24th, my client found out at 5 p.m. on Friday. That's when she found out, when I went ahead and furnished the Rule 11 agreement to her. It was not dilatory. How can we delay when we filed a motion to disqualify within a business day? Monday, we filed it yesterday. We found out on Friday. She is accusing me of being dilatory when she submitted her responses to this case on Thursday, March the 31st. We found out on April the 1st at 5 o'clock, and we filed the motion to disqualify yesterday, which was the first day after the weekend. I even told her in the morning of April the 4th, yesterday morning, that there is a problem with her conflict of interest in hearing everything that my client told her about this particular matter, her private affairs in this particular matter. And now she wants to advocate for Mr. Hinojosa to disadvantaging my client, prejudicing my client, and giving him a major advantage in this matter. This is not dilatory, Your Honor. We filed it very quickly.
Your Honor, if I may respond,
Sure.
not only she consulted, his correspondence says, I've spoken to my client. She is willing to give him X. We spent all day Friday, Your Honor, negotiating this Rule 11 agreement. I am filing their correspondence that indicates she was aware that I was on the case. She even negotiated the terms of the visitation. And he, in his own correspondence, which he failed to put on his motion, stated she's agreed to grant him an extra hour. My client only agreed to this very limited visitation because he thought he was coming in on Tuesday to have his case heard, Your Honor. And my client, is the one that really would like to talk to the court, Your Honor, about why he'd like to get this done, because he hasn't seen his daughter except for Sunday for 3 hours, and it was supervised by a stranger. And he hasn't seen her for over 2 weeks up to that time, Your Honor. And your orders say that he cannot see her.
Your Honor, I object to her advocating for this client. I would like to respond to what she stated. She is stating that a Rule 11 agreement that was signed strictly to have the person that she's representing now have visitation with the child. She's saying that Rule 11 somehow grants or grants her the ability to represent an adverse party. It didn't say anything about waiving a right of privilege from attorney-client relationship. It didn't say anything about attorney-client relationship. Just because, and it's not even, why would it be my job to go ahead and say, who is this person? It was Miss Darlene Bale's job to look at the people that have given her $100 to talk to her, to tell her the story about what happened with their child custody issues. It was her job to take those names. Oh, well, Benjamin Hinojosa, you're in my office. Okay, well, I'm going to represent you, but first, let me go ahead and see if I have a conflict of interest with Miss Veronica Gonzalez. Let me check my records. That is her obligation. Why is she placing that obligation on us? And she's saying that we waived it because we are trying to help facilitate some type of resolution, granting the client time, granting the client time with the child, even though we have an order saying that we didn't have to do that. But we want to work. But because we did that, we waived our rights. We waived she's waiving her right to not be disadvantaged, prejudiced by giving all of her information on February 24th about this matter, this subject matter.
February 24th, you said?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. We don't show her February 24th, Your Honor. We do show Veronica Gonzalez that came in on February the 21st. But beyond all of that, Judge, the point is, once she knew that I was on the case, and my name is not a common last name, Your Honor, I assumed he sent her the pleadings. Once she knew that I was on, her job is to immediately, that's case law, Judge. It's not that I'm putting the burden on him. That is the burden of the case law. You have to let the other side know, hey, you may not remember this, but I came in on an hour consult with you, or for some reason your system didn't pick it up. Veronica Gonzalez is not a rare name, Your Honor. We only show Veronica Gonzalez that came in on February the 21st. We do not show one that came in on February the 24th, as her affidavit alleges, Your Honor. But even saying that, Your Honor, here's the issue. The law says that it's very clear on this issue. She's got to notify us, hey, we think you have a conflict of interest, because the whole point is not to prejudice Mr. Hinojosa's ability to go get counsel to get this matter resolved, particularly when you have a TRO that gives them the type of no visitation type of an item, Your Honor. We sent a letter to him on the 31st when I filed my answer, Your Honor, and response, and a letter and a motion to quash the TRO. Your Honor, we sent them a letter. He responded. We did negotiate. We did a Rule 11 agreement. At no time did he sit there and tell me and say, you know what, my client went in, we can't negotiate anything. We can't do anything with you, Your Honor. But once they once she knew, she's got to speak up then, Your Honor. That's where the waiver issue becomes. And yes, granted that he did it on Monday, but the problem is we have the hearing on Tuesday. And so what this does, it continues, basically, they're going to request a continuance of their TRO, and my client is going to not have access to his child for while he goes and tries to seek other counsel. Because the only reason I'm here before this court, Your Honor, is because of the TRO. Normally, I would have told somebody like him, you know what, whether it's right or wrong, you're going to spend time and money on this, go ahead. This is easier. Get yourself other counsel. Had they told me and said this, hey, Ms. Fail, we object to you as an attorney because you had maybe an hour consult. Frankly, I don't remember it, Judge. The name did not spring up at me, nor did my computer system pick it up. But we have a lot of Veronica Gonzalez. I mean, it's a common name. It's not an unusual name. It didn't come up on that regards, Your Honor.
The fact that she has a common name doesn't mean that she should disregard the fact that there's a chance that Veronica Gonzalez is that she gave legal advice to and heard everything.
We're
about
not
the case
disregarding
already.
it, Your Honor. We're
I
not.
I let you speak, ma'am.
You
I
did not.
respected
You
when
just
said
came
that.
in.
Okay, all right, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor. So she's trying to state that we are trying to do this to delay and we filed a motion to disqualify, and it has an affidavit notarized, supported by the motion for disqualification is supported by an affidavit of my client stating and with exhibits that show the exact time that she found out. And that was already past the date of Friday at 5 o'clock. How is it that somebody's going to find an attorney? So we told them on Monday morning, okay? We told them on Monday morning, the very next business day that my client found out. She's making it seem like March the 31st was 8 months ago, which is what case law talks about. They don't want to grant motions to disqualify when there's months, when somebody sat on it for months. This is a business day. She just got on the case on March the 31st. And then she talks about how she's got all these files and all these Veronica Gonzalez's, and she can't remember. But the thing is, she's expecting us to go ahead and drop everything that we're doing. So for this one case, when she's saying that she's got a busy practice, I am trying to represent my client to the best of my ability. And now I'm going to be going against an attorney that knows all of her secrets and is saying that we're doing this just to push this when we reacted one business day after we found out. And she was on the case one business day before that, Your Honor. Before that, she was on there one business day before that. She's acting like she's been on this case for months. It's been 2 business days. You can see on the docket, March the 31st is when she filed everything. April the 1st, when she called me to try to get access to the child. And that's when we started working, because she wants him to see the child. She wants him to see the child. If you want to delay this and grant him time to see the child the same way that they did on Sunday, that's totally fine.
That's the problem.
And then he could get another attorney that isn't going to be prejudicing my client because they know everything about the case. And she's saying that she doesn't remember. How can you not remember something? How can you not retain information? What type of an advocate are you supposed to be if you can't retain any information? She's saying that just because she heard somebody and they were in her office that she had a consultation that she doesn't remember.
All right. First of all, what's the underlying issue here? Why can't you see the child? What's going on? How old is the child and so forth?
The child is 1 year and months, Your Honor.
Okay. Are they divorced?
They are not divorced. They were going to get married in June.
Oh, so they're not even married. Okay.
Yeah, they were living together, Your Honor, is what happened. And they broke up. And then my client has been a caretaker during the COVID years. They've been living together
Your Honor,
for a while.
I do not want her to advocate for this client. I object.
Well, then let my client speak, Your Honor.
Your Honor, breakup happened February 8th. We were living together civilly for 2 weeks. She got a call from McAllen PD because my mother had pressed charges on her for assaulting my mom. So she freaked out, went to PD, took the kids with her, and then I didn't get to see the kids for 2 weeks. There was a day where I saw my daughter for 2 hours, but that was it. And then on her 18-month birthday, which was the 8th of March, I picked her up from, of course, there's no written order saying I couldn't do that. I don't understand why there was an order saying I couldn't pick up my own daughter. And I picked her up from daycare and I took the rest of the week off. And then I had spring break since I'm a high school teacher the following week. And I had her the duration until the 20th when I brought her back to her mom, because I find it important that both parents are involved.
He's not
in
under
child
oath.
life.
He's not under oath.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm trying to read the affidavit on the recusal, on the withdrawal of counsel, but I haven't finished reading it. But my whole deal is why was a child, how old is the child again?
My daughter's 19 months, Your Honor. She's going to be 19 months on the 8th.
All right.
Your Honor, I would like for you to put him under oath,
Okay.
please.
So then without Ms. Bell for right now, just momentarily, let's do the case with Mr. Hinojosa.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And we're on the TRO here, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hinojosa, you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You may put your hand up. All right. Mr. Hernandez, were you going to put on some testimony from your client?
Yes, I was, Your Honor. I was gonna.
Okay.
give her some
Okay, you can start.
testimony.
It's your TRO. Let's briefly, please. And
Thank
her
you,
name
Your Honor.
is, I didn't get it. Your client's
Veronica
name?
Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, Veronica Gonzalez.
You have to raise your hand.
All right. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. You may begin, sir.
Yes, sir. Ms. Gonzalez, before your separation with Mr. Hinojosa, how would you describe the caregiving that was given to your daughter Antonella that you provided?
I would get her ready every morning. I would take her to daycare. I would pick her up from daycare. Benjamin would get home up until about 7:30 because he's a coach. So I would get the kids dinner. I have another child. I would get them dinner, bathe them, put them both to bed. And so that was my responsibility day in and day out.
How did what you did for the children, the way you testified right now, how did Benjamin Hinojosa's caregiving for Antonella differ from that?
He never helped me really in the mornings to get her ready. I would ask him, but it never happened enough. I would take the babies a bath because he said he was afraid that he would hurt her or like she was very fragile. So I did that responsibility as well. And putting them to bed, I would do that as well. He was just not taking the initiative to do it. It would just really be me doing it all the time.
Why would Benjamin Hinojosa not take care of the kids?
He was too tired from the night before, from staying up drinking by himself in the living room. And I would tell him during the week, like, it's during the week, you have to wake up early, but it didn't really matter to him. So I went to sleep as soon as I would take the kids to bed, like around 9, and he would stay up by himself. And in the mornings, he's barely making it to work on time because he was too tired from drinking.
Whenever Antonella was sick, who would take her to the doctor?
Me, majority of the time, I would take her to the doctor.
Is there anything that Mr. Hinojosa did do evenly with you?
Changing diapers, he would help me with that. He would help me get the bottle for the baby, but it was majority of me taking care of her.
Because she's 1.5 years old, correct?
Yes.
What has she cried before?
What do you mean? She cried before?
Has she cried before to me to either be?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she has like a bad night or she's not getting breast. So I would stay up with her. She sleeps with me. She's always slept with me because I breastfed her for a year. And so she co-sleeps with me still. And so if she had a bad night, I would stay up with her and calm her down.
Okay, so would Mr. Hinojosa take care of her when she was crying?
No, he would help a little bit, but then he would just always say, yeah, she wants to be with her mom.
Would you say that she cries a reasonable amount of time as a typical child would?
Not that much, but like she has that bad days. She's 1, she's almost 2, so she has like another little.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's talk about the time since your separation to today. You had the child and Benjamin also had the child, or please tell me how the schedule happened from February 8th to today.
I moved out of the home and I was telling Benjamin, let's try and work out outside of court, maybe do every other weekend till we saw somebody, but he refused. He said he wanted to see her.
You can't say what he says.
Oh, sorry. During the week, sorry. This is really stressful. Okay. What was the question?
It was, well, what to describe the possession of the child since February the 8th.
Oh, she's been with me, and she was picked up by Benjamin, but he did not allow me to see her for those 2 weeks that he kept her and took her out of town.
But start from the beginning, February the 8th to today.
She's been with me at my home, and then a couple of nights she went with Benjamin, and then the majority of the time she's been with me. But 2 weeks with him, and then she came back with me recently. I can't say the date.
Could you respond to what Mr. Hinojosa stated when he said it was his birthday and he had spring break? Can you talk about that particular moment?
When he kept her?
Can you talk about what Mr. Hinojosa, can you respond to his testimony about how he picked her up?
Oh, yes, he picked her up. That, yes, it was her 18 months. And I told him not to, just to wait till the weekend. And he picked her up first from daycare. And so I called him and I was like, please just bring her home. She has bedtime at 7:30. And he refused, and he just refused to bring her back home. And he said, I'm going to keep her until court. And I told him that's not fair because you know how long that could take. And then I ended up messaging him a couple of days after. I said, can I see the baby, or like, do I need to send somebody over there, like a police officer, so I can just see her for a little bit? And he said, sorry, we're out of town. They had taken off to Bryan for a whole week and didn't even notify me that he was taking her over there.
And what happened when he returned the child to you? Can you describe Antonella at that time?
She was vomiting, she had diarrhea. He had to take her to the hospital. He said she had got some stomach bugs. So I just urged him to please bring her back because I'm the one that always nurses her back to health. So I just told him, please bring her back. And that's the only reason I think he brought her back.
Can you describe the interaction between you and Antonella when she came back from that period of time when she was separated?
So we were separated for about 2 weeks. Ben put the baby in the car, and she had just woken up from a nap. And when she opened her eyes, she looked really like confused that I was there, because she hadn't seen me for so long. So I think she was really like surprised that she was seeing her mom again. She had like a blank stare. She just looked really confused for a little while until she finally like became okay. But as we got home, she wouldn't even let me leave the other room. So I think she was scared that she wasn't going to see me again for a long period of time.
Well, how would you be able to care for her if you were to be granted more custody than Mr. Hinojosa, where you would have her during the week and most of the weekends?
Just day to day, like our usual routine. I mean, she's 1, so I think she should be on a routine like she was before. She has her daycare. She comes home, she plays with her brother, she has dinner, and she has a set bedtime. And just throughout the week, and then on the weekends, you know, she could see her dad, or we could work out sometime there. But she needs a routine. She's always gone to sleep at 7:30, and that's just been our house routine.
Speaking of house routines, how would you describe Benjamin Hinojosa's house when he comes back from the ranch?
When he comes back from the ranch, it's very careless. So he just leaves his guns everywhere. He's left them in reach of my 3-year-old son, and leave them on the dresser where it's in reach to him. So just very careless when it comes to that. I don't own any guns. but he does. So they're always just in the closet or somewhere where the kids were walking around, able to have access to them.
So when you mention kids, who are you talking about when you say kids?
My son Giovanni, who's 3 years old, and Antonella, who's 1.
So is Giovanni related in blood to Antonella?
Yes, he is. That's her brother,
So they-
stepbrother, half brother.
half brother. So they're related in blood.
Yes,
You are both of you're the mother to both of them, blood,
yes, I am.
biologically.
Yes, I am.
And describe their relationship with each other.
They are very close. Giovanni takes care of his sister. They're learning a lot from each other right now. She's getting older now. She's almost 2. So they just hang out together and their bond is really good. So even when I brought her back, Giovanni said, "Thank you, mommy, for bringing my sissy back."
How does, can you describe how Antonella feels towards Giovanni?
Oh, she adores him. She wants to just be like him. So she follows them everywhere and they're just really playing with each other and learning from each other. And they're just like really best friends.
If you were to describe again the responsibilities that you've taken on the child before now in a percentage with Mr. Hinojosa, how would you describe the amount of time and duties that you, in percentage wise, handled for Antonella?
I would say 90% me, 10% Ben.
You mentioned routine. The child mentioned routine. What is it that you could provide for the child that would keep her safe and would teach her self-control?
Just, raising her the best that I can with her brother and reading to her and playing with her. She's starting to sing a lot. She's learning her alphabet. So just getting her ready, to keep learning and just being happy and in a nice routine that she's okay with.
Do you have any other evidence you'd like to state at this time that you believe, why you believe the child being with you more of the time is in the child's best interest?
No, I believe I've said everything I need to say.
Thank you, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Hinojosa.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. You want to ask some questions?
I would just like to make some statements.
Okay.
I really don't know how this works, but my piece is in response to that.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, Mr. Hinojosa, but does this mean, Your Honor, that we're moving to his testimony?
Okay, I tell you what, let me ask a couple of questions here. Before you were living together, where were you guys living?
Your Honor, when we met, we started living together. I wouldn't say we were both on the same lease, but she lived in Weslaco, Texas. I met Gio when he was 1.5 years, and he knows me as dad. He doesn't know his biological father, and really, I raised him as my own son.
Okay.
And whenever we lived together, we lived in the plantation apartments in Mission off South Sherry. We were both on the lease there. Of course, that was a COVID year, so we were at home quite a bit. I was at home a lot. Veronica still had to report to work. I took care of the kids, both of the kids. And actually Giovanni even by himself before Antonella was born, because of the fear of COVID. And then we moved whenever Antonella was 3 months to I'm sorry, let's see, I'm trying to think back. We moved to the house in McAllen when she was 3 months in December. And then we had been there since.
Okay, so just recently you guys separated and you moved, where did you move to, Mr. Hinojosa?
Well, we still hold the lease together, which she hasn't helped me out with. She moved on, and the date that she moved out was President's Day. I want to say that was the 21st of February. I can actually pull up my calendar to verify. Yes, Your Honor, it was the 21st of February that she moved out after receiving a phone call from McAllen PD. So there was about a little under from about 2 weeks that we were living together civilly. And I the reason she moved out was the call from PD. She goes to Weslaco, and when they're not there, because she took both of the kids, I couldn't mentally and physically be at the house. I still can't go there. So I've been at my parents' in Mission, Texas, Your Honor.
Okay, with your parents. You're with your parents. Okay.
Temporarily, Your Honor.
Okay. Your parents work or they stayed home?
They work, Your Honor. My mother's a principal, a middle school principal, and my dad's a pharmaceutical rep.
A what?
Pharmaceutical rep, Your Honor.
Okay.
Works for Merck Pharmaceuticals.
Okay. And on weekends, are everybody at home on weekends?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Your mom's at home on weekends, Saturday and Sundays?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so is your dad?
Yes.
Okay. You don't work on weekends?
During the football season, I would, Your Honor. From August to December, I would have to go in the mornings from usually 8 to 12 for film. And that's actually why she was saying getting the kids ready, because I physically couldn't. I'd had to be over there by 5 a.m. So it's not that it was my lack of not wanting to. It's just because I was trying to make more money for the family and taking my coaching responsibilities. And I mean, she met me as a coach. And so I have summers off, Your Honor. Usually, or I took care of both of the kids in the summer completely to take advantage of the time I have. The percentages of the 90-10 that she claims is completely wrong. Your Honor, do you want me to go more into defending
Okay.
what she said?
Let me ask another question here. Earlier, Miss Veronica Gonzalez, you asked, you wanted a routine for your child, right? She's 19 months old,
Yes,
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor. Oh,
like to go to daycare and so forth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said you could take care of that, right?
I'm sorry?
You can take care of that?
Yes.
You've been doing it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So then most recently there was an hour visit on a Saturday? Or what was it?
Sunday, Your Honor. Yeah, it was on Sunday. It was supervised by Eddie Villanueva, who usually looks at over these cases at County Court number 8.
Supervised by Eddie Villanueva. Why supervised?
Because that's what we had asked for, so that people, so somebody, a third person could be there.
Okay. But in this case, if he gets them on weekends, he can be supervised by the grandmother. Right?
Yes,
So instead of the 1 hour, that can be increased to about 4 hours on Saturdays and then 4 hours on Sundays, for example.
yes,
For right
Yes.
now, until you guys mediate or something,
yes, yes.
But on weekends, I can see weekdays, I can see where it's a routine type of deal. And yes, they go to bed early and, you take them to daycare and so forth. That's pretty much, but on weekends, 4 hours on Saturdays and 4 on Sunday. In the meantime, till we get things straightened out, I think that's pretty good.
Yes.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Noza?
I would just, do I say my piece?
I'm sorry?
Do I say do I respond to the things she was saying?
Oh, no. Right now it's the visitation of Antonella. That's the more important thing I want to see here.
Okay, I'm interested. I do not want to ever have a supervised visit. It was super invasive. He was literally, he was a nice gentleman, don't get me wrong, but he was literally breathing down my neck the entire time.
Okay.
I understand maybe that's his job, but he took it a little too seriously, and it's got to the point where my daughter's looking like, who is this guy following us? Is he, what is he doing? And it was
he can be supervised. The baby can be supervised by your grandma. Your mom.
And I do not see, I'm sorry, please forgive my ignorance as far as the terms, but the restraining order that they have against me, I don't even understand how it even got accepted. And they haven't heard anything from me. Again, I don't know the complete way the law works, but I would like to see her overnight. I want to, excuse me.
Well, look, that can happen, but for right now, temporarily, what I want to do is do temporary orders, and then we'll come back in another day after you guys mediate or something, or let me hear the whole blown deal. And yes, it could happen overnight.
It's just, I want to see her, wake up, put her to bed.
Yeah.
I put her to bed on multiple occasions. thing where that's her
Okay.
routine. It's completely false. When she was with me, I put her to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
It's not that one parent was not following a routine. I don't want that to be in the back of anyone's mind. We were both, I mean, I'm assuming she put her to bed at 7:30, but whether she's with her or myself, we're both following the routine and putting her to bed. At first, the reason why Veronica would put her to bed is because she was a baby and she was breastfeeding, but I would sleep with her son because he was afraid of the dark. He needed someone to sleep with. It wasn't that I wasn't giving to the child and then me getting home late. It may seem that she's doing everything in her mind, but I'm working. I do everything for the kids. And when I have them in the summers and Saturdays where she works at the bank, I have the kids, no problem. I take them both to the ranch. I take them everywhere, and the whole thing with the guns, that's not true unless, I mean, they're in lock boxes. But of course, I know it's just, legal talk the way trying to make me look bad. But I don't want anyone to think I'm dangerous or that I'm negligent or anything like that. I would love the opportunity to see I haven't seen her. I haven't put her down since I got her.
Okay.
Or since I had dropped her off, which was the 20th.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's
What
just,
I want to do here is make temporary orders, and then among the orders will be the mediation. I'll appoint the mediator, and then we'll come back hopefully in a month or so, and we can make some adjustments. Okay. Now, don't treat this like it's the end of the world, man. This is. I mean, it's a step-by-step type of deal, and we'll get there eventually.
I'm sorry.
No, I know.
It's just, I don't wish this on anybody, and for them not to see their kids for this long, it's just unacceptable. I don't know how someone can live like this.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Hernandez, anything you want to say?
Yes, yeah, we had the TRO. We had the TRO judge. We agreed for him to see the child. She just said he doesn't know how anybody could live like this. I don't know who he was talking about, but I'm believing that he was talking about my client. He had taken the child away for 2 weeks. And that's when Ms. Gonzalez had come over to talk to me about the case to see how it was that we could do that. So he's saying one thing, but he's doing the exact same thing, but we actually did it with the court order. So, Your Honor, the only other thing that I have to say, thank you for giving me this opportunity, is that during mediation, who is going to be his attorney?
Your
Because-
Honor, I am going to withdraw, Your Honor.
Okay,
now
there
that
it is.
We got some temporary visitation for him.
Okay, there it is. And then, so Mr. Hernandez, submit an order on the 4 hours and 4 hours. I don't know what you prefer right now, Mr. Noza, mornings or afternoons, or like Saturday mornings and then Sunday from 12 to 4.
I would prefer all day. I would prefer all day and all night.
I know that.
And
I know that.
in going to what her attorney is saying,
Look, when you mediate, you're gonna seek overnight. Let's see. Hopefully you'll get it. That's mediation. Okay. So
Your
we're
Honor,
gonna mediate.
if we could discuss the pickup and drop off aspect, if they could agree on a relative that would be able to pick up and drop off instead of each one of them.
Did I
Or
hear
if they could,
Did I hear somebody lives in Westlaco and someone in Mission?
yes.
Yes.
Well, then halfway or something, when you want to do the pick up and drop off?
Would you be okay with your parents dropping off the child in Wesco?
In Alamo?
Where he lived? I mean, I'm sorry, in Mission.
In Mission?
Alamo, like we did Walmart.
No, but I think it's gonna be at his house, right, Your Honor? The supervised visitations?
Yes, yes.
Okay, then yeah, my mom will take her over there.
Okay, that'll work then.
And how would it work to get the child back at the end of visitation?
Well, then who do you prefer to drop off the child at your house, Ms. Gonzalez?
I honestly, I don't feel comfortable with any of his family members. Maybe can my mom also pick up the baby? I know it might be.
Okay, then your mom could pick up the baby. Okay.
Yes, my mom will pick up and drop off the baby.
Okay.
Your
Remember,
Honor.
when you mediate, you're gonna talk about all these details.
Yes, absolutely.
Pick up, drop off. It could be now halfway, whatever. It could be
Absolutely.
overnight also.
Okay,
So many things, many issues are gonna be settled in
Okay.
mediation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay? So this is just temporarily, Mr. Nojosa. This is not gonna be written on stone or something. You're gonna mediate. During mediation with your new attorney, you're gonna be asking for all those things you want. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and as far as so I'm trying to understand, how is it that my daughter, we're both custodial parents, how is it that my daughter's getting to live with her and I'm the guy who's just having to jump through the loops? I don't understand. When
Your
they
Honor,
haven't.
I object. He's
Can I
asking the
finish
court
speaking,
for a
sir?
legal opinion.
Yeah. Well, right now, she's the one that's gonna be taking the child to daycare every day. Okay?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I don't, I'm not in season anymore. I have the ability to drop her off and pick her up. I get out earlier than she does, actually.
Those
My
are your,
schedule's a lot more flexible.
those are your
And I would-
highlights for mediation. Okay. So you're gonna be hiring an attorney, Mr. Hinojosa?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Hernandez, submit an order on the, you prefer 4 hours in the morning on Saturdays and 4 in the afternoon on Sundays? How do you want to do it?
I would prefer to do it in the evening after her bedtime, because in the morning, if we have the 4 hours in the morning, I like Antonella to be able to sleep in, and she'll like to lounge for usually until like 8 o'clock, 7:30. So, and I just don't want it to interfere with her bedtime, which is 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I guess evenings work better after her bedtime, maybe 2 o'clock that's what you're asking me, right, Your Honor?
All right, 2 to 6?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 2 to 6.
2 to 6 p.m. on
And I
both
guess-
days, Your Honor.
Yes, and leave it blank so I can appoint a mediator.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Should I title this order, Your Honor, interim orders or?
Interim orders, temporary orders.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I have a question. I'm sorry. So
Yeah, I have
this
a
is-
blank for the reset date and
Yes,
a blank
For
for
the
the
temporary-
mediator.
all in one order,
For
Your
the-
Honor? All
Only one
together?
order. Yes. Yes.
Your Honor, for the temporary order, is this every weekend, right?
Every weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
Starting this weekend.
Okay.
Up until it gets mediated, then hopefully things will change for the better for everybody here. Okay?
yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much.
Your
Your
Honor,
excuse.
we
Have a
may-
great day.